Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is going to be my empties for the last 2 months. So this will be everything that I finished up throughout September and October. Diving right in, I have a 4-pack of lashes. This was by Kiss. This is part of their blowout lash range, and the style was Page Boy. I bought this at IMATS, I think, last year, and I blew through all 4 of them in the last year. I did really enjoy this style. I felt like the lashes lasted probably about 6 to 7 uses each, which is pretty good because I don't feel like the pack was that expensive. I want to say it was $15, maybe it was cheaper than that. It's been a year, I don't really remember. Anyway, I did really enjoy them and I would consider purchasing them again. I have a Revlon, is it just called Quality Filing? These were nail files. I think there was 10 in here, and I did really enjoy them. I know it sounds ridiculous to say that I really enjoyed some nail files, but I've had some experience recently with some nail files that I did not enjoy, so really like the Revlon ones. Oh, one of my favorite body washes. This is by The Body Shop. It's their Satsuma Shower Gel, and I love this scent to pieces. I have a big old bottle of this. It's like 750 mils, and it took me forever to get through this thing, but that's a good thing because I wanted to treasure it because I like the scent so much. I've been using the Satsuma scent ever since that I can remember. I was 14 years old roughly, and I would pick up my Satsuma bar of soap basically back in the day, and my Oceanus one, which they no longer make, and I'm still hoping that one day they will bring that scent back. So Satsuma is a wonderful scent. It mostly smells like just really juicy oranges. It's one of the most pleasurable scents to use, particularly during the summer. It just makes me feel robust and awake in the morning, and I will absolutely repurchase this once I finish up all the other shower gels that are currently in my bathroom. I don't have that many right now. There's probably only 4 or 5, which is pretty good because at one point in time I feel like I had like 15 of them just waiting in my closet, but I will come back to this one at some point. The only thing I don't love about this is the pump top. It is too short. It's just way too short. When I put my little poof under it, it's like I'm jamming the poof under it. I don't know, it's just really awkward. I end up decanting this into a little bit of a squeezy tube so I can just squeeze it out onto my poof as opposed to dealing with this pump top because I just hate it. So I mean, that's a small little nuisance. I will always buy the jumbo pack though because I just love the scent so much. Next up, we have this product by Nipple Fab. It is the Glycolic Fix Night Pads Extreme. And I got this for, it was sent to me by PR several years ago at this point, and I honestly just kind of forgot about it and finally pulled it back out recently and was like, well, I better use it up. I have to say that because this thing probably expired, it expired 6 months after I first opened it, and it's probably 3 years since I first got this. So I can't say that I really noticed any kind of difference in my skin in the last few months that I was finishing this thing up, but I mean, I finished it. It certainly didn't do anything bad to my skin, and I like this range because it smells like grapefruit. Oh, one of my favorite products. This is by Soap & Glory. It's their Smoothie Star Breakfast Scrub, and the scent is, well, it just says right on it, great maple scent. This stuff is to die for. It is hands down my favorite body scrub ever. Holy grail status right here. It smells so freaking good. It's like maple and breakfast oats. It is delicious. Like, I just want to eat this. Because it smells that good. The consistency is also fantastic. It's a really scrubby scrub, but it's thick enough that it feels like it's coating my skin and then doing something good with it too while also exfoliating it. I tend to exfoliate my body only once a week. I do it usually on Sundays after soccer so I can get sunscreen and all the sweaty stuff out of my skin. And I absolutely have 2 more backups of this sitting in my cupboard right now. I am using another scrub by Soap & Glory at the moment. I think it's whatever that pink thing is. Is it just their pink scent? It's their original scent. I'm using that one up right now, and it's fine. It works just fine, but I definitely prefer the scent on this one. The breakfast scrub is just wonderful. I have a set of wipes in here. Oh, these are not my usual ones. Well, they are the usual brand. So this is Neutrogena, and this is their all-in-one makeup removing cleansing wipes, but it's not the hydrating version. And I do not like this one nearly as much as I like the hydrating one. I'm pretty sure I just use this to remove makeup swatches, which, you know, isn't something that a normal consumer would ever be doing, but I just prefer the hydrating ones on my face so much that I really don't see the point in using anything else. I did use this at one point and I just didn't feel like it worked as well. So this, I don't remember how I got this because I certainly didn't purchase it because I only buy the hydrating ones. Anyway, maybe it was sent to me in PR, but I would only ever use this to take off swatches on my arm. Okay, the next one is kind of a nuisance. So this is the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge Traveling Case. And I've been raving about this for years because it's so handy for travel. It pops open, you put your sponge in there, it keeps all the nastiness within this as opposed to like putting extra foundation on the inside of your makeup bag. And I've been raving about this because it is absolutely wonderful. And I think I've had this for like 3 or 4 years and it's never broken. Until recently, and the plastic just started to like crack on the seam lines here, and it's still technically usable, but it's just gotten to the point where it pops open a little bit too easily, and I don't want to risk it in my makeup bag when I'm traveling. So I have picked up a new one of this, and honestly, for paying 10 bucks roughly, I think, and it included a sponge at the time, I think that's okay to replace every 3 years. So I do have a new one, and I'm just annoyed that it broke, period. But I mean, 3 years for this thing to last is actually pretty good. Okay, I've got a little sampler packet that I got probably in a Sephora order. This is the Jack Black Performance Remedy. You can tell it's geared towards men with terminology like that. Performance Remedy Turbo Wash Energizing Cleanser for Hair and Body. The wording just makes me laugh. I did not like this stuff. I mean, it cleaned my body, that's fine. I didn't use it in my hair. This hair and body stuff that men use, I'm not down with that. So I use this as a body wash and it smells like Halls, like the original Halls. I can't stand the scent of it. It made me feel like I was choking on a lozenge for my throat. And I'm glad it only was one use because I would never purchase a full size of that. I have a nail polish in here, which I didn't really want to throw out because I love it so much, but it's reached the end of its life, so I really just need to be done with it. This is the NARS and Serum Moon Collection nail polish. So what was this, when was this released? Like 3 or 4 years ago? Around then? This is the shade Never Tamed, and I have to say, this is my perfect red nail polish color. It is the best color of red as far as I'm concerned. It just looks beautiful on my nails when I'm wearing it, and I always felt super classy when I had it on. But I have gotten down to the very end right here. There's a little gap where the polish has separated, and really I just can't get any more product out of this without it glopping on my nails. Because I've had it for so long and used it so many times, the consistency has just gotten really thick. And unfortunately it was limited edition, so I can never buy it again, although this one was sent to me in PR, but this was lovely. I love the longevity of it. I loved the brush on the NARS polish so much. It's a fatter brush, and this just applied so beautifully that I would absolutely recommend NARS like cream finish polishes based on this one. It was fantastic. I have a mini sampler size of the Bioderma Sensibio mild cleansing foaming gel. I don't really remember having much of an opinion on this, to be honest. I know I took it to Ottawa, and I think this little thing lasted like 5 days or more, which is great. I love bringing these little things that I can try out when I'm going on vacation, because then I don't really have to, you know, I was just gonna say that it's so great about these minis because I can just throw them out when I'm on vacation when I'm done with them, but that's not the case. I bring them home in order to film Empties with. So if you're a normal consumer, you would just throw this out when you're done. So for that reason, I think it's great. I have a mascara here, and it's the CoverGirl Clump Crusher, and I'm so happy that I've rediscovered this mascara. This used to be my favorite, I feel like 5 or 6 years ago, and then I started testing other mascaras, and I didn't really forget about it. I just never got around to picking it back up again. And recently I tried it out again, and I'm like, I just like you. You're just perfect. It has the weirdest wand, honestly. I like these plastic bristle brushes, but I don't really tend to use something with a curved one like this. But honestly, between the formula and the wand, it just works. It provides the perfect separation to my lashes. It adds enough volume, but I wouldn't really say it adds length, but I prefer separation in my lashes over almost anything else, along with a little bulk and blackness, obviously, because since I'm blonde, my eyelashes are blonde. So this is just great, and I always buy the water resistant one. I don't think I've ever actually tried the normal version one, but the water resistant one is great for me anyway, because it does not transfer to my lower eye socket. I find that even most mascaras that are great for me and they bulk up my lashes, for whatever reason, if I'm still wearing them on the top lashes, they will drop to right down here, and I can't stand it. It drives me nuts. I just hate the look of that, because then you got to clean it up and that's just a mess. So this one doesn't do that, and can't really beat that in my book. I have a serum here. This is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Serum. I love, first of all, everything that Neutrogena makes in the Hydro Boost formula. I just think it works wonders on my skin. It smells fantastic, it feels lightweight, and it actually moisturizes. That being said, I don't actually feel like this hydrating serum feels that different from the Gel Boost Moisturizer, the one that comes in a tub, that while I enjoyed using this, I think I would almost opt to grab a different type of serum and mix that with the Hydro Boost, as opposed to using this and then what it feels like layering the exact same product on top of my skin. Don't get me wrong, I still really enjoy this, but I don't feel like it's different enough from the actual moisturizer. So I enjoyed using it. Would I use it again? Absolutely, but it's probably not the first thing that I would go out and pick up. I have a face mask here. This one is by Repiel. This is their Timeless Mela-shot Bio Mask. And I really enjoy these ones because they're that biocellulose film and they really conform to my face and they don't feel that slimy. I mean, they're still slimy, but in the grand scheme of things, they're not as gross feeling as the masks that don't conform to my face. So this one's a little bit funny because it looks like a needle. I'm sure I've mentioned this one before because I've gone through 3 other ones over the last year, I guess. But it actually opens at the top, which is funny because the first time I tried to open this, I was like trying to pull this thing down and I'm like, this is ridiculous. It's not opening. And then I realized that it's completely sealed there and that's not how it opens. So it does twist off and then your product's on the inside. I enjoyed it. Did I notice a difference in my skin? No, not especially, but I don't tend to notice a lot of difference with my skin because my skin is quite good. But it didn't do anything detrimental and I think I did feel like it was mildly hydrating. I have a moisturizer here. This is the Aveeno Positively Radiant Sheer Daily Moisturizer with SPF 30. I'm gonna start this off by saying that I love Aveeno. It is one of my favorite skincare brands, just like Neutrogena is. I interchange those two all the time. I think they're fantastic. However, I was not the biggest fan of this because I don't love SPF in my daily moisturizer. I just feel like it doesn't work out as well for me. Number one, I don't like the smell. When you add SPF to something, it always smells slightly of SPF, and that bothers me. If I'm gonna wear sunscreen on my face, I'm gonna apply a full-fledged like copper tone or Hawaiian Tropic sunscreen. I don't really want it in my daily moisturizer. So aside from the scent, the other reason that I don't love having SPF in my moisturizer is that I feel like with it saying 30 SPF on it, that makes me think that I can put this on and then go to soccer because there's 30 SPF in it and not apply another type of sunscreen to my face. And yes, it will not let me burn because the SPF is strong enough. However, a moisturizer is way more likely to sweat and slide off into your eyes. So every time that I have worn this when I've gone for soccer or to go for a run, this stuff has slid into my eyes and caused tearing because that's what an SPF does. If it hits your eyeballs, you just start to like cry. And then I'm like walking around the soccer field with like red stinging eyes and I can barely see where the ball is. So I just do not like SPF in my moisturizer and I wish they wouldn't include it. Now, Aveeno has other moisturizers without it in it, but they're getting harder and harder to find and that's kind of annoying to me. And it's funny because I'm on the other side of this coin. Most people like having an SPF in their moisturizer. I am just not that person. Oh, another Nipple Fab product I was deciding to use up. I feel like these were sitting at the back of my skincare drawer cupboard and I was just like, I need to clear these out. So this is the Glycolic Fix Overnight Purifying Gel. And what I would do is I would put this on my skin before going to bed at night and hopefully not apply too much, otherwise it could be very sticky until it's sunk in completely. And truth be told, it never really did sink in completely, but I think that's because it is working overnight on your skin. Did I notice a difference? Not recently, but this thing probably also expired 2-ish years ago. I remember thinking that whenever I woke up the next morning after having worn this, when I got in the shower to wash my face, it did feel like I was sliding something off of my face, and that could be the product or it could be part of my skin as it was exfoliating. You know, I've said that, and I was just about to say I don't actually know if glycolic acid exfoliates your skin, but it says right on the back that it helps refine skin's texture by aiding natural skin exfoliation, so I'm not that far off base. Anyway, it was fine. I probably wouldn't reuse a product like this again because I just didn't notice a massive difference. Okay, I've got a few more bits here, and the first one is another nail polish. So this one, I'm so sad to have finished, but it's time to get rid of it. This is Essie's Shine of the Times. Do you remember when this nail polish came out and everybody went bananas over it? It is the most beautiful, flaky, iridescent top coat type polish that I have ever seen, and Essie discontinued it years ago. And I don't know why, because it was one of the ones that YouTube and blogs went nuts for. Like, everybody just loved this thing, and then when they discontinued it, everyone's like, what are you doing? So I held on to this for a very long time just because I didn't want to part with it, and it was only full, like, let's say 25% was remaining in the thing. And finally, I think a few weeks ago, I was like, it's pretty old, it's gonna get kind of clumpy, you might as well use it. And sure enough, when I went to go use it that time, it was like thick and like a paste, and it was just unpleasant to apply. But my nail polish looked really good for that week, so I wore it that one last time, and now I'm done with it because really this thing is too thick to apply anymore. It's like sealed itself to the edge on one side, and it's just not moving. Anyway, this was a beautiful polish. I'm so sad that they discontinued it because it truly was magnifique. It was just beautiful. Anyway, I'm done with it now. I have two brow pens here, which is really irritating because just the other day I realized that I've run through all of my backups of the NYX Micro Brow, and I have no more. At one point, I think I had like 15 backups, and now I got none, which is really disappointing because I'm like, what do I do now? So obviously I have to go out and buy some, but dang, they're not cheap, and they were at IMAT several years ago, so that's when I stocked up at the time. But yeah, I'm gonna go have to pay full price now in a drugstore or look for a sale. So NYX Micro Brow in Taupe, I've been talking about it for years. It is one of the best color matches for my hair. It doesn't actually match my hair because it is a gray toned taupe color, but I think it is the best color to put on my brows to make it look like it is some semblance of a real brow color in comparison to my hair. So I do really enjoy this. I will absolutely be purchasing more. I just have to go find a deal on them. Because I hate paying full price for these things because I go through them so quickly. I'm like, really? I don't want to spend $12.99 on you. And the other brow product I have here too benefits precisely my brow pencil, and this is in the shade 2.5. I did run through 1, 2, and 2.5. And you know what? I used to think that 2.5 was too dark for my brows, but more recently I've started to think that it's too light, which doesn't make any sense because it is darker than 1 and 2. Anyway, I did enjoy it. I feel like this is a great product. However, I run through this way faster than I do the NYX Micro Brow, and this I think is like double or 2.5 times the price tag. So I was sent these ones by PR. I reviewed it. I did like the product, but I cannot justify spending this kind of money because it's like, what, 25 Canadian? Maybe it's a little bit higher. It would basically be every month because I think that's how quickly I run through a brow pencil, or maybe 3 weeks on these ones. It was just really quick, so I would opt for the NYX Micro Brow over this one. And the last product I have to talk about is an eyeshadow primer by Milani. This is one of the ones that I go back to all the time. I feel like it's very consistently good, and the price is really good too because it's at the drugstore. I do have to layer this with another eyeshadow primer, and pardon me if you've heard this before, but not everybody is aware, but I have to layer my eyeshadow primers. I have to apply 2, otherwise my eyeshadow will crease. This is just something that happened to me about 5 or 6 years ago, and one primer won't work on me anymore. No matter what the brand is, I have tried everything out there. Everything. And it doesn't matter. So I've started to layer more inexpensive ones recently and it works just fine, and Milani is one that I go back to constantly. And it takes forever to get through an eyeshadow primer, and that makes me really happy because I use it every day. So it's roughly 9 months to 12 months before I'll finish one of these up, which is great. Okay, so that is it. That is everything for my empties. We are empty here, and I hope you found the reviews helpful. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye.